folks, how are you? So today we're going to have a little look at some vibrato. Very important thing, the issue of wiggling the finger or hand in order to produce something of the sound of I always think about the Bugs Bunny cartoon with the opera singer where he's going and kind of wobbling his hand like that. Well, that's what I think about when I think of vibrato. Got my little trusty friend here. So we're gonna talk about a couple of different ways you can achieve it, and how to do it, and what its effect is, I guess. I was trying to use it a little bit in that little bluesy thing I started off with, just at the beginning of the video there, and just think about the different ways it can be applied. So first of all, the kind of least common version of vibrato and the subtlest, if you are playing regular guitar, is going to be the kind of up and down the length of the string. It's doing a little bit of something, it's very subtle. But that's the kind of vibrato you'd probably more likely employ if you're playing slide guitar and moving up and down, and then you're moving the point of contact back and forth. So it is making just the change in pressure as much as anything of your finger on the string is creating a slight pitch variation. And that is what we're aiming for. A little subtle pitch variation or wobble. I mean, I say subtle, it doesn't have to be subtle, it can be sort of pretty pronounced, and everybody's got their own take on it, which is why it's often touted as the most personalised technique on the guitar. So I can go along the string's length. Okay, kind of left and right vibrato. And the movement is coming from my arm and my wrist for the most part, my thumbs stabilising on the back of the neck, my fingers keeping contact with the string, and just as a holding point, so that I can move side to side and transfer what my arm, actually it's probably a little bit of elbow, actually, I must admit, in that particular case. So after that, we've got a couple of more wide or narrow variations on almost the same technique, which is the side-to-side method, which is usually more common, but I just mentioned the other one just so that you can think about that a little bit. So again, here we're trying to keep that finger, that point of contact, just holding the string. The finger is not providing the motion. The finger's just hanging on to that string and keeping contact. And at this point, it's definitely the forearm and wrist making that wobble occur. I'm trying to do a bit of a foxy lady there if I can. It's not going to feed back at these subtle volumes, but you get the picture. So I can, again, go gentle and slow with that. Really slow there, so I can just kind of massage it up and down across the fretboard along the length of the fret this time. Now it's really important to be able to produce some kind of reliable vibrato with at least 3 fingers, if not 4. And I try to practice that because I'm aware it's like a little bit of a weakness I have of not being able to. I can do it with the 4th. But my personal favourite that I can do when I'm trying to play, hopefully an interesting passage on guitar, is really the really kind of pronounced kind of. I hate to mention a certain great blues guitarist who we owe a lot to with respect to his incredible vibrato. You can probably guess who I'm talking about. And I hate to mention it just because he is the most cliched person to really reference when we're talking about vibrato, but the great BB King is probably the best vibrato. Can you have the best vibrato? He sounds pretty good. Let's put it that way. And that's my kind of version of a BB King one. So I can do that with my first finger only to get it that pronounced, because it relies on the whole hand to get the pronounced move. That's the kind of thing that's going on, like that. So I can get a more subtle one with a third finger, for example. Same movement there when you're trying to turn the wrist. Second finger. Second finger works pretty well. So this is actually becoming one of the longer videos, but just to wind it up now a little bit, and we will probably return to this subject, as I always seem to say. Thinking about the way that movement is produced with your left hand, in my personal estimation, I equate it to something like when you were a kid waiting for the lesson to end and you were looking at the clock, and underneath the desk your leg was going bubble, 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 your knees wobbling because you can't wait to get out the door. So it's a little bit like that wobble that you can get, right? That's the kind of thing we're doing, you know, when a muscle's just at that point of tension and it seems to kind of wobble back and forth. That's a slow one. Faster one. Fast kind of hummingbird BB-ish. Kind of medium. So we can talk about the speed. We can also talk about the width. So obviously when we're getting across really wide across the net like that, we're dragging that string across, we're getting a big pitch variation because we're pulling it. We're kind of doing lots of mini bends one after another to get that vocal-like quality. Okay, that's enough of that. We'll definitely come back to it. I wanted to mention it and have a little video about it because we're going to be using it, and it's been really hard to stop myself from using it on the videos before I talked about it. So we've got that done, and hopefully next time we can talk about employing it in our solos to bring them to life a bit more. Thank you. I'll hopefully see you at the weekend again sometime if you're around. So have a great day. Have a good Friday. Bye.